So in this video, I want to show you how to draw a proper trend line. Okay? How to draw what? A proper trend line. So I'm going to type a couple of things that you need to know about drawing of trend line. Okay, and then I'm going to show you how to actually draw a trend line the proper way to trade a trend or in any type of trade you want to trade. Okay, any type of strategy, any type of approach, just how to draw a trend line. So the first thing is you need at least two tops or bottom. By that I mean swing high and low, right? You need at least two tops and bottom. That's number one. Okay. Number two, you need to spot the very edge of the top or bottom. Okay. You need to spot the very edge of the top and bottom. Number three, you can extend the trend line after the initial spotting of the top and bottom. Number four, implementing the OABC pattern would help in drawing trend line. All right, I think that is almost everything. Okay, all right, this is better. Good. So you need at least two tops and bottom, or swing high and low, when you want to draw a trend line. The second thing is you need to spot the very edge, okay, or the top of the top and bottom. Okay, you need to spot the very edge of the what? Of the top and bottom. Okay, and then you can extend the trend line after the initial. I think that spelling is not correct. After the initial, oh, excuse me, there's a lot of extends, bottoms, initial, implementing. Good drawing, very good. I think the drawing is not good. All right, so number three, you can extend the trend line after the initial spotting of the top and bottom. I'm going to show you that. And then implementing the OABC pattern will help in drawing a trend line. Okay, now what am I talking about? Okay, what am I talking about exactly? So let's take a look on what I am actually saying here. So the first thing is, which is our first rule, is you need at least two tops and what? And bottom. So right here we have our first bottom. Okay, we have our first bottom here, and then we have another bottom here, and then we have another bottom here. Now trend line can get really confusing when you have something like this, because you wouldn't know where to actually place or start drawing from, and where to also pick your second line from. I mean, your second top, or in this case, second bottom here. All right. So this is what I do normally. So let me show you. Good. If I'm drawing from here, the first thing is you can see that this bottom right here, they are relatively at the same level. If you see what I'm saying very well, you can see they are relatively at the same level, meaning that they are at the same price range. Okay, at a point, both of them drop all the way down to this place. Okay, at a point. So I will draw my trend line like this, just to spot the what? The first and the second. So this is my trend line. I have the first touch here, right? Number one. And I am picking this second one, this second touch right here, as my what? As my number two. Okay, initially, before I saw this, before this formulate at all, let me take it back a little bit. Before the formulation or before the formation of this, let me put it that way. Before the formation of this would have made sense. Okay, this would have made a perfect sense. Okay, however, this is not yet a trend. That is why I said, okay, that's why I said that the use of OABC pattern, okay, the use of OABC pattern would go a long way when you are drawing your trend line. We do what? We go a long way when you are drawing your trend line. So this is what I mean. Now let's draw our OABC. The first thing is you need at least two tops and bottom. We have two bottom here, right? So that means rule number one is done. Number two, you need to spot the very edge of both. So as you can see right here, I'm spotting the very edge of both. Right here, the very edge, one, and then the very edge here as well. Okay, so everything is good here. We have two rules confirmed. You can extend the trend line after the initial spotting of the top and bottom. So normally these are how we're supposed to draw your trend line. Okay, so now that's the trend line, but it is best when you extend it. Okay, when you extend it, and also at the bottom you extend it. Don't just draw it like this. Don't put it like this. Okay, it makes it look too close to the edge. So extend it just maybe for like a couple of inches longer. But when it's in the direction of the trend, you can see this is a bullish trend. The market is going up, right? Because we have swing lows. When the market is going up, you have swing lows. When the market is going down, you have swing highs. So this is it. Swing high, swing low, swing high, swing lows, swing high, and swing lows. When you're drawing a bullish trend line, you connect the swing lows and not the swing highs. Okay? When you're drawing a bullish trend line, you connect the what? You connect the swing highs. That's another rule you must know. Excuse me, you connect the swing lows like this. Okay, you can see these are the swing lows. Okay, this right here, these are the swing lows. These are the corrective mode. This is when the market corrected back to the trend line, right? You can call it correction, you can call it pullback. Okay, so this is when the market connected back. So this is exactly what I'm trying to replicate here. All right, you can see the market is pulling back to the trend line. So we spotted these two first, and then this third the third one sometimes automatically just come and form, all right, and touch the trend line. Then you will see a rebound from that trend line, okay, and then it goes on and on and on like that. Okay, so this is a bullish trend line I'm trying to draw here. So let's follow. So you can extend the trend line after the initial spotting of the top and bottom. So that is done. And now number three, implementing the OABC pattern will help in drawing the trend line. So what do I mean by OABC pattern? It's like this. So right here we have our O, and then the next swing high will be our A, and then the pullback after the swing high will be our B, and then we anticipate for the next swing high will be our C. Okay, you can see OABC. As well, I can make it basic. Excuse me, I can make it basic white. All right, that's good. So that is exactly what I'm talking about. So let me use this on a more smaller one. This one I drew here. Okay, so this is it right here. You can see this is the first swing high. A, B, and C. All right, A, B, and C right here. Okay, and then you can now anticipate for the next pullback so you can buy. But this part must properly form before you can actually trade a trend. You must see your O, you must see your A, you must see your B, you must see your C. That way it is easier to draw your trend line. Okay, that way it is easier to draw your trend line, and then to also trade a trend. If you follow this very well, it will help and save you from mistakes. Okay, it will protect you from mistakes in the market. So I'm going to drag this a little bit upward. Let me see if I can drag it up so I don't get. Is it all selected now? Let me see if I can select this also. Oh no. Mm, yeah, I think yes, everything is selected now. So I'm gonna drag it up. Let me drag it up. All right, good. Let me drag it a little bit up again. Let me see if I can drag it more. All right, good. So let's keep that one that at that area. Okay, now coming back here, you saw what I showed you earlier. All right, now we have this our O, A, B. Now we are looking for C. Until we see this proper formation of O, excuse me, until we see the proper formation of this OABC pattern, we are to chill and wait for the market to do what? To properly trend. Okay, we are to chill and wait for the price to do what? To come back to this zone right here. This zone right here, we are to wait for it. Unless it happens, we are not expected to trade a trend yet. Because when you see something like this, that's when you can be rest assured that the trend is ready and there is a proper formation of trend. Of course, some people can take it from B, it's fine, but to me it is premature because anything can happen. All right. Assuming we take a buy here, let's assume we take a buy here right now at B. I will put our stop loss slightly below here or even slightly below there. Now let's see what happened after all. You can see that it almost closed us in loss, which is not cool. Okay, so that is why it is best to just do what? To avoid any sort of impatience when you are drawing your trend line. Okay, so this is good. So now you can see the market has broken our trend line again, and it also came back to what? It came back to the previous level. Okay, this place right here, the previous support, the previous area that the market pulled back to. Okay, this is what I'm trying to say. You can see this swing high and we have swing low. But instead of the market to break the structure, to break this previous high and come to C, no, it came here and come down, making something like a range, or we can call it a double bottom pattern. Okay, it forms a double bottom pattern. You can see two bottoms right here. Okay, so now we have to adjust our trend line back to this place because that is the new low area. Okay, adjust at the bottom as well, extend it if necessary, and then you wait for C at the top here. Okay, you do what? You wait for C at the top there. So let's play it and see how this actually play out. Now we have a break of what? We have a break of structure right here. Okay, where is the break of structure? We have a clear break of structure right here. Excuse me. Right. Good. Text black. Good. So as you can see right here, we have a clear break of structure, which is sometimes called BOS, break of what? Break of structure. So right here we have a clear break of structure because the market broke the previous high. This was our previous high, which is our A right here. Now the market broke A right here at this juncture right here, and then the market goes up. Now, what are we waiting for to enter a buy trade? Because obviously this market is bullish. Okay, the market is what? The market is very much bullish. So what is the plan to look for buy trade setup? Now, this is what I will be looking for. I will look for something like this. Maybe to retest this trend line and then go up. All right. But sometimes the market might not come back to this trend line. So, but that's just for the other day when it comes to trading. But this is how to draw a proper trend line. This is how to draw a proper bullish trend line. So if the market now come back and retest this area, then we can look for what? We can look for a sell trade setup. Okay, excuse me, a buy trade setup. It's gonna look like this. Once the market comes down, okay, it's gonna look something very similar like to that. So we're gonna have something like this, and then we're gonna look for a trade setup right here. Okay, but that is for another class. Okay, but this is how to draw a proper buy trade, a proper bullish trend line. This is how to draw it. So let's see. I'm not sure it actually comes back down. I'm not sure as regard that, but let's see if the market actually, excuse me, it didn't come back to retest our trend line ever since. Ever since. Now that we have something like this, there's another way to go about this when the market fails to come back to your trend line. And that is why we have something like this. You can as well draw something like this. Okay? You can as well draw something like this. This is another one. As you can see, trend line touch. We have two trend lines, right? We have two swing lows. The first low and what? The second. I mean, this is the first low. This is the second swing low, right? The first swing low, the second swing low. Okay, that is another trend line on its own. Okay, we could have picked this, but the market came down to almost touching this previous low. All right, so that wouldn't make any good sense. If we had picked this and looked for buy setup, that might have given us some money. Yes, as you can see right here, that might have given us some money. But the market came back to retest this area. So I just extend it like this to make it make more sense, because you are not allowed to, your trend line is not, the price is not allowed to pass through your trend line. Okay, so these are the don'ts. Okay, so let me put it right here at the top, the do's. Okay, the do's. And now let's talk about the don'ts. The don'ts. Number one, price is not allowed to pass through your trend line. Okay, number two, price that breaks trend line must also break the previous structure before looking for a reversal, or let's say for looking for a trend reversal, because some people believe when a trend line is broken, then the market is reversing to the opposite side. It's not always right. All right, it is not always what? It's not always right, and I'm gonna prove that to you in this particular chart that I'm working on right now. Okay, and number three, make this very well. Number three, trend line must be steep. Okay, no, this is the don't, right? The price that made a pattern like flat top or bottom must be regarded as trend continuation instead of reversal. Okay, full stop. So I'm going to explain those gibberish that I just typed, especially the number three, because it's kind of confusing. Okay. Now, what are the don'ts? Number one, price is not allowed to pass through your trend line. Just imagine. I think this is not the proper. All right, good. So just imagine you drew your trend line like this, and you extend it like this. Does this even make any sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me, because the price broke it, but it failed to break the previous structure, which is the previous support level right here, this particular level right here. It failed to break it. So that was the reason why I adjusted it back to this area. Okay, and also right here, imagine you put, now this is the previous one. Okay, so let's assume after this trend line is drawn, you see the market go up like that. We have this resistance there, and then we want to draw the next one. The market break above it. We're already buying. Don't forget, we're already buying, and it's all looking good. And then all of a sudden, don't forget you have to extend your trend line at all times. Excuse me, that kind of play without my consent. That play without my consent. Now, don't forget that you have to draw your trend line. Okay, so this might still look, you can see this is a breakout. Okay, look kind of nice, but it is not that nice because you can see that the same thing that happened here, the same double bottom that happened here, the same flat bottom that happened here, right here, okay, it's still the same thing that happened right here. First bottom, right? And then we have the what? We have our second bottom right here. So what do? You adjust your trend line back here. Okay, just to pick the last bottom. Okay, the price is not allowed to be in and out, to move in and out of the trend line. It's not looking cool anymore. Okay, it doesn't look cool anymore at all. So that is why it is very important to know how to draw a trend line properly. Okay, and if now you might be asking the inner trend I drew, okay, the one that I'm drawing right now. So this inner trend, you might want to ask, what of implementing OABC pattern? If that's your question, then let's try it out. So we have our first bottom here, O A B C. And why is that? Because this previous high was what? Was broken. This previous high was broken. It was never broken here. That's why these are major C. Okay? So we have this trend line that was broken here. So what is the plan? If you draw your trend line like this, okay, which is very steeped. Anyway, by steep, I mean it is it's almost straightforward. It's almost very straight. Okay? So drawing that, what's now the plan there? You have to wait for the price to come back, retest this place, and look for buy opportunity. That's the plan, right? So let's see how that plays out. The market come down, you adjust your trend line, number one, okay, and then we look for this flag pattern, and then we look for what? A break out of that flag pattern. So let me delete that. So let's see how that play out. Okay, we have a clear breakout of the flag pattern. So we are looking for buy opportunity. We buy right here, our stop loss below here, and then we target 1:2 or anything above that. Excuse me. So we target 1:2. All right. So let's play that out and see how it goes. Boom. A profitable trade. Okay. Even though there was some sort of accumulative move here, you can see the market kind of move in a choppy mode, moves up and down, up and down, up and down before it actually make that bullish move. So what do you do after you make this profit, which is very good one? What do? You delay this thing, and then don't forget the trend line. You adjust the trend line all the way back here. Okay, adjust the trend line because now you have a couple of other bottom because this level was not broken when all of this is happening. When all these bottoms right here were formed, 1 and 2. When both of them were formed, this previous top was never broken. It was broken only after this level it was formed, and this is where it got broken. All right, so that is how to draw a proper trend line. The same thing for the bearish. So let's look for a bearish trend. Let's just come to this easy one, or this one looking at us. It is the same everywhere. All right, so let me take, probably you are looking at everything that happened here. This is a pure range. And why is that? There is no place to draw our OABC pattern. This is O, maybe A, B, C. Then where is the pullback? You can draw a trend line. Easy peasy, right? All right, but you can see the market go broken. So it's all what? It's a range market, and then the market's like looking chubby. So this doesn't make any what? It doesn't make any sense anymore. So let's draw a more bearish trend line right here. Let's draw our first bearish trend line. Good. So what is the first plan? Don't forget, you need at least 2 tops and 2 bottom. Right here, we are looking for swing highs. Okay, we are looking for what? We are looking for swing highs. So as you can see, the market came down. Okay, market went all the way from here. It came down, it pushed back up, come down again, push back up, then all the way down, then started. You can see this move. This is not a kind of move that we all love to see. But if you're already in a trade, it's a good one. All right, so let me take it back a little bit. All right, let me take it back a little bit. So now this is how my trend line will look like. For a starter, and this is my OABC. O, A, maybe B, and then I'm looking for C right here. Okay? And then instead of the band, so this is how it's gonna look like. So this is how it's gonna look like. Look at this. Nice. So this is my O. This is O at the top here, right? O at the top here, A, B, C. This is what I'm trying to say. O, A, B, and C. Right? It's not bad. Now let's wait for the break below here. If we see a break below here, then we can now anticipate for our C properly. So let's play this out. As you can see, the market came here before we see the clear break. All right, so what do? We adjust our trend line back here. And now we have a break, right? Now we can look for what? Good. Now that we have a clear break, we can now look. This is our C. Don't forget. Okay? This is our C, OABC. We can now look for a very well set trade opportunity right there. Okay? A very well sell trade opportunity right there at the break of this flag pattern. So let's see how this plays out. The first candle that broke it was okay. It didn't break it totally. That's why you need to also be patient to see the close of the candlestick before you jump into a trade. And let's see how that closed. That closed precisely below it. So jump in right here. Put your stop loss slightly above there, or it can be slightly above here. All right, and then target 1:2. So let's see how this plays out. You can see that was a very heavy push, almost closed us out in loss, right? And then let's see how this goes. We have a profit 1:2, good, but that's not what we are doing here anyways. What we are doing here is basically, now look at this. We've already know our C has been spotted right here. Okay, but despite our C being known, we need to know our D, which is supposed to go like this, right? But instead, that was not how it plays out. Okay, the market break, but it failed to break below the C, and then it started what? It started ranging before this one broke it. Okay, so what do? We adjust our trend line back to this area. All right, just to make everything make sense. Because the first thing is, there is no reversal. Despite the fact that the market break above our trend line, it is not reversing yet because there is no clear break of this previous support. Okay, if we saw something like this, the market came down, formed C, went back up, then come down here, failed to break the previous C, then break our trend line, and we saw something like this. Also failed to break the previous C, and now went up to break this previous support. Went up like this, retest like this, then we can now start looking for buy trade. All right, but none of that happened. That means that the market is still very much bearish. Everything that is happening here is just simple accumulation. The market is just accumulating orders. Okay, it's what we call liquidity grab. All right, so just adjust your trend line like this and wait for another entry. Okay, we'll look for adjust your trend line then until the market clearly break the previous high. Okay, so now we have another high here. This is our previous high, and then just extend your trend line. Easy peasy. Okay, easy peasy. Now let's play it. Okay, as you can see, the market still follows this initial trend line closely. All right, close what? Closely. Nothing has changed. The market then pierced through the trend line. Everything ticks. Okay, so let's drag this one down a little bit. Then let's play. No, don't forget that our high has changed. So we have a new high right here. Before we can see, call anything reversal, we must see a break of trend line. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what I call a reversal, meaning that this previous resistance is broken. Once it is broken, excuse me, once it's broken, then you know that you're ready, the market is ready to go in the opposite direction. Okay, so let's see how that goes. Voila, our trend line was broken, and then this previous high was broken as well. Voila, right? Now let's see how it goes. Retested and go up. It is that simple, guys. So this is now, if you want to draw your bullish trend line, this is how you draw it. You start like this. Okay, and then you wait, you wait, you wait. The trend line was broken, right? So what do? You extend this, you adjust this. Okay, because you still have what? You still have your OABC, right? OA. This is not B because it didn't come back to retest this place. So our A will still be extended to this place. Excuse me, let me delete all of that. Okay, so because the pullback didn't come back to the trend line, so we have to OA. So with our C's, our B is still manufacturing, but we can call this place B. Okay, but then before we can see our C, before we can call anything C, then it has to break above here. All right, don't forget the rule. So this is it. As you can see, I think we've run this before, but let me just follow it through. So we have to adjust our B to this place. Okay, so now let's go. Still fail to break above there, right? Then we do what? You adjust it back, you adjust this until it successfully break above here. That's when we can now say we have our C. And now you can see right here, you just have to keep adjusting until it break above this previous high. That's when we can say we have our new C. Okay, that's when we can now say we have break of structure, and that's how to draw a trend line. All right, it is simple, very basic. You just have to follow it slowly. All right, so I think we've run this before, we've done this trend before. So that's the example. You can check it out yourself and let me know what you think by asking question. So thank you guys. I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.